Today we have the pleasure of a special visit from the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, Honorable Trudeau. I would like to talk a little bit about the Italian-Canadian community.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate that historical day in 2021 in which you apologize about those tragic events in 1940 when thousands of Italians were considered enemy aliens and 600 people were actually internated.
Yes.
That was really something tragic for the whole community, and we're very grateful for what you did in 2021.
Well, it's something that is really been important to me, not just, and I know it was extremely important to many Italian families to have this recognized, but it's also really important to Canada to recognize mistakes that we made in the past, to not repeat them in the future. We are seeing a world that has even more and more divisions now, huge geopolitical challenges, and the temptation to point at one group or exclude another group remains active as a threat in Canada and everywhere around the world. So taking moments to say, we made a mistake back then, let us recognize it, learn from it, and never make another mistake like that again. That is the real value. Not so much just looking back, although that's important to some. It's about looking forward and saying, never again, not in Canada.
Absolutely. If I can elaborate just a little bit about that. Yes, the internment was terrible, and the list of enemy aliens, 31,000 people, considered all of a sudden enemy aliens. There's another part to it. It's the long-term suffering of many families. They might not have been interned. They might not have been in the list. But as Judge Iacobucci was telling me one day, my father wasn't interned, but he lost his job because he had an Italian name. So this group of Europeans, they were looked down upon. And maybe that moment, the word might have been fascists. In more recent time, might have been mafia. What do you think about? Do you think the government should take further steps to recognize this suffering?
I think one of the things that we need to do as Canada is make sure that we're ending discrimination of all different types, whether it's racism against Asians or Italians or anti-Semitism or Islamophobia. We as a government have stepped up so that Canadians do a better job of seeing each other as human beings, as fellow Canadians, as neighbors, not just as people who come from a different part of the world or have a different story. And there's still a lot of work to do, but Canada remains one of those countries that does a better job of seeing differences not as a source of weakness, but a source of strength. And that is something that we have to protect, we have to continually work on, but we also have to celebrate in this country.
Grazie.
Thank you, my friend.